Hi guys, I guess this is a bit of a video reply. Some of you may have seen my pop boats where I use a single cylinder and a single pipe. It still works, but the problem with these is actually getting the water into the boiler, because if you just try and pour water in the end there, it doesn't go anywhere because the air pressure in there stops the water going in. Now, what I've done in the past is I've arranged a flexible tube that I can push up in there all the way round and squirt water in, so that gets water directly into the boiler, which is what we want. If we just lay it in there, turn that so you can see it, you'll see there's no air bubbles, nothing's coming out, because it's a sealed container, so even though it's full of air, water doesn't rush in. Which is why, what I was just saying, I put a flexible pipe in there that goes all the way in and then pushes water in at that end, which blows the air out. Now, Doc Inc. suggested that I pushed something in there, held it under the water, and then as I pulled whatever it was out, that would actually create a vacuum in there, because when you pull something out, something's got to go in to replace it. So by creating a vacuum in there, that would suck water in as we're pulling whatever it is out. So what you want then is something like a piece of wire like that, and push that in. See, there was a tiny bit of water came out then. Not much. Right, what happens when you're trying to push something like this in is you get to the bend and it won't go any further. If I just hold my finger on there and pull it out, you see we're just up to the bend and it won't go any further. A slightly more flexible pipe. Oh, that one's too big. That's not even going to go in there. That's an exact fit, which is no good. I did wonder about pushing a thinner bit of wire. We'll come to that in a minute. This bit of wire, which is garden wire. So if I push that in, it's thinner, so it bends around that bend, but it doesn't go much further because it gets to the next bend and then it's stuck there. So we're just getting around the bend a little bit. And I was doing that, trying to push that through while it still had the plastic on it. And it occurred to me, if I strip the plastic insulation off it, that's thinner and more flexible. Oh, and I've also cut the end at an angle, so we've got a point on it. Now that one, with a bit of manoeuvring, I managed to get all the way in. So now, having got that all the way in, we've got a choice. We can try and just pull it out and see if that'll do what Doc Inc. said, which will be suck water in while that's being pulled out to replace the volume. Or I should be able to just put that on there and squirt water in. So that's what I'm going to do. If we didn't have that tight bend on there, then pushing something up inside would probably work exactly the way Doc Inc. said. Push it up, that fills the space. Then as you pull it out, you're creating a vacuum inside, so water would be drawn in to fill that vacuum. I reckon I can do this. So what we're looking for is water to come out of here. There we go. So that has filled that tank. Now if I hold that under there and pull that out, that should draw even more in. So that should now be full of water. What I should have done was weighed it, shouldn't I? So then we could have measured the difference. Because now that's full of water, we've got the same problem. We can't get it out again because the air pressure is holding the water in there. Yes, I wish I'd thought of that first, weigh it first, then we could have measured how much water we put in it. I guess if we push this in, you'll see there's water coming out as we're pushing it in. You see there is water coming out as we're pushing that in. As the tube is taking up the volume, I squirt that out. So we've just got air. We should be able to blow air in there and blow water out. Yeah. Do that again. And you won't be able to see what I'm doing because my hand's in the way. Yeah, that's blowing the water out. So I'll go and weigh that now. Right, we're on grams. So I should be able to zero that. 0. And then if I suck 10 millilitres of water in, from memory, that should actually be 10. Yeah, there we are. So 10 millilitres or cc's of water is 10 grams. Now, zeroed that again, put that on there, 28 grams. Might have to just remember that for a minute, because we've got to get all this in there again. All right, so that's in there. Okay, we've filled that up, but we've still got the pipe in there. That's saying 2 grams. And if we pull that out while it's underwater, and then put that on there, still 2 grams. Well, in theory, that means we've got 2 cc's of water in there. but that ought to hold more than 2 cc's, so we clearly haven't filled it. It's just 0 again, because I'm not confident that's right. 0, 30, yeah, that is, because it was 28. And we got 2 grams of water in there, or 2 cc's. And I would have thought that took more than 2 cc's. Of course, yeah. That depends where the pipe goes to in there, whether I've pushed it all the way to the top or whether it's just in there. If it's just in there, then potentially we could fill all that up. But if I push the pipe all the way in, then putting water in there is only going to fill it as far as the pipe. You'd have to draw a diagram to see what I mean. But if we hold it that way up, we might be able to get more in there. Because we're pushing water out again as we're doing that. It's dribbling out. That way up. If the pipe's at the top, we should be able to get water in. Aha, yeah, we got some more air coming out. Right, now we've got water coming out. Put the end of that in there, pull the pipe out. Now weigh it. 38 now. Yeah, we got a full 10 cc's in there. So it makes a lot of difference which way up you hold that when you got the pipe in there. So that tells me I've only got that pipe in at the top there. It doesn't go right the way to the bottom. It's by holding it that way up and pumping water in there. The water's going in, the water will be going to the bottom, and the air is being pushed back out. Well, that was interesting to me. Probably totally uninteresting to anybody else, unless you happen to be trying to do a pot boat with a single boiler and a single pipe. 2 pipes, no problem at all. You squirt the water in one pipe and it comes out the other pipe. Single pipe and you've got a problem. Oh, and you probably don't actually need it full of water for it to work. So filling it with water is probably a backward step, because when it's full of water, you've got to boil the whole volume before you can actually get any steam generated. Whereas if you only got it partially filled, then it only has to boil the small amount that you've got in there. So filling it right up is probably a bad thing. And doing what I did first of all, which was only 2 cc's in there instead of 10 cc's, was probably the right thing to do. That was fun. And just a thought, if we want to empty it of water, we have to hold it that way up to squirt air in there. To push the water out. And you probably can't see what's going on there. That's coming out quite well. Yeah, I think we've emptied it now. And then back on, pull the pipe out, put that on there. Only 26 now. It was 28, so must have been some water left in there from previous times that we've just blown right out. Thanks for watching. If you want more information, check down below in the video description. If you like this video, you might like this one up here. And if you want to subscribe, you can check out my channel over here. Up here is my latest video on my channel, and down here is a video playlist associated with the video you've just watched. Thanks again for watching.